Hi, Baddie. Welcome to another episode of Bad Bitch Embodiment podcast. My name is Jenna. I'm your host and guide, helping you feel empowered and supported to break up with diet culture, fall in love with your body, and call in your dream relationship. Let's get started. Now, this flows right into the second D in BADDIE. The second D stands for direct communication. And this one's a doozy, but trust me, it is going to create so much alignment in your life and improve the depth of intimacy in your relationships rather quickly if you do it right. Now, a bad bitch knows what the fuck she wants, right? We just went over desire in the first D. So now that you know what you want, you have to communicate it with the universe and with other people. And this is kind of oversimplifying it, but just when you're starting out, I want you to think if it is not a fuck yes, it is a fuck no. Because again, you're not doing shit that you don't want to do anymore, okay? You are doing what you want to do. And through leaning into your desires, you're going to be able to more clearly discern your fuck yes and your fuck no. If you just went through a breakup, chances are there were things that you and your partner were not communicating about. And it could have led to the downfall of the relationship. We all do the best we can with the skills that we have at the time. However, we need to work on communication because communication collapses timelines. When you can be clear about what you want and what you don't want with another person, it gives that person an understanding of how to interact with you. So, for example, I have a good friend who was talking to this guy, and the guy was kind of coming on to her, and she didn't really like him. And so he tried to kiss her, and she was like, no. And he was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And she was like, yeah, I don't want to kiss you. Like, I just want to be friends. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, I have no interest in being friends with you. He just said it straight up. He was like, I don't think that we should continue interacting anymore because I want to be more than friends. You don't. And so I'm going to choose to walk away. And if she didn't say that, well, then she would still possibly be entertaining this man who wanted something more from her than she was willing to give. And I think this is really important because oftentimes we don't speak our truth because of the fear of rejection. I understand this. I did this for a long time in my life where I truly wasn't being honest with people. Heck, I wasn't even really being honest with myself, right? But when we speak the truth out loud, it allows our physical environment to come into alignment with our energy and with our truth. So many of the relationships you may have in your life might not be the right fit for you if you're not being honest and you're not using your voice. And a bad bitch knows this. She knows that when she tells the truth, her 3D reality collapses into the version that she wants to live because the wrong people go. And the right people are magnetized in through the truthfulness in her speech. Honesty is a bad bitch's number one priority. For this reason, she's honest with herself and she's truthful with others. And this leads us into setting boundaries. So, once you know what you want, once you know what you don't want, you're communicating, you teach people how to treat you. And this is so important because we often set a boundary, right? And tell people what we want, but then people can forget or there could be misalignment in the relationship. And so you need to defend your boundaries like a queen who is ruling over her land. Think about this. Everybody wants to be called a queen, right? But at the end of the day, a queen is ruthless about her boundaries because if another country came in to invade her land, she would start a war. And that's what I want you to think about with your boundaries. You literally have to be so fucking firm because people will try to edge those boundaries and come in to conquer the land that is your body, mind, and spirit. And a bad bitch does not allow people to do that. She stands firm in her fuck yes and her fuck no. And she tells people to fuck off and has no problem doing so because at the end of the day, your peace is your number one priority. And a bad bitch is unbothered because of her direct communication. We're moving right along here. And now we are at the letter I in baddie. And I stands for intuition because a bad bitch knows that her body is always right. She listens to her intuition and has unshakable self-trust. Self-trust is hella sexy. And you cannot fuck with a bad bitch in the streets because she knows that she always has her back. I think it's very common in our society that women are told, no, 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 it's all in your head. Oh, don't be crazy. Everything's fine. And then guess what? Shit's not fine. And it wasn't all in your head, okay? Your intuition is one of your most valuable assets because it is a direct connection between you and source, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, whatever this higher power is, it speaks to us through our intuition. And a woman's intuition is located in her body. So a bad bitch does not try and intellectualize her way out of feeling. No. You need to trust from the waist down. And this takes a lot of work because we're taught to constantly be in our heads, to constantly intellectualize and to think and to be really logical and practical. No, a bad bitch is not logical or practical, okay? She is deeply, deeply, deeply in tune with her body because she knows once again that it is her most valuable asset for discerning the truth. And her body sensations are paramount. She listens to whatever sensation is happening. If she has butterflies in her tummy, if she has a lump in her throat, she takes those sensations as data to understand what her body needs in any given moment and also how to address the current situation she's in. When I was in my previous relationship before my breakup, I was constantly ignoring the signs from my body. I was saying, no, 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 it's okay. We're safe. We're safe. When I wasn't, I was lying to myself. And I don't want you to lie to yourself anymore because it's so common that we just push down these gut feelings and then they end up being right in the long run. And we go through a lot of pain and grief and sadness because we were lying to ourselves basically. We were ignoring our intuition and we were pushing it down because maybe we wanted to have a connection with a person or maybe we wanted to stay, right, in a certain friend group or in a certain friend group or work situation. And then it all fucking blows up in our face, right? So, this is your permission slip to hone in on your intuition. And you do this through having daily check ins with yourself, in particular with your womb space. So, this can be really simple. You can just even sit in your room every day. I do this on my fuzzy chair here. And I connect with my womb and I ask her, "Hey, how are you feeling today? What's going on?" And through this practice, my entire life has changed because I'm so much more connected to my body's cues. A bad bitch has unwavering self trust because she trusts the cues from her body and she knows that they are an extension of God, source, universe, energy. And because she's listening to those messages, she doesn't try and force herself into situations that don't feel right. She doesn't try and stick around when something feels off in her body. Instead, she listens to these sensations on the first time. She honors her intuition. And through honoring this intuition, she protects her peace at all costs. Because again, a bad bitch is unbothered. And she knows that if a certain situation falls apart, it's only because another better situation is on the way to her. And so she has unwavering trust, not only in herself and in her body, but in God, source, universe, energy to deliver on her desires because she is in alignment with her truth. This brings us to the final letter in BADDIE, the letter E, and it stands for energy. Now, I don't want you to think that this is the least important letter because it's the last letter in BADDIE. That is the furthest thing from the truth. And E, energy, comes from food. So don't get it twisted here, okay? You cannot implement the other 5 tenets of baddie philosophy if you are not well nourished. And a bad bitch is well nourished in these streets. If you are going to communicate directly, if you are going to be audacious and beautiful, you need to be well nourished. You're not going to be able to sense your intuition or hone in on your desires if you're hungry, okay, sis? So you need to start out by having a high protein breakfast every morning, especially within 2 hours of waking up. I'm talking about 25 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber in your first meal of the day. Once you have your breakfast, I want you to eat every 3 to 4 hours after that in intervals, including an abundance of whole foods, fruits, veggies, whole grains, meats, and plant based proteins. Variety is the spice of life, and a baddie knows that the universe is abundant. Fuck diet culture. Fuck trying to shrink your body. They lie to you and tell you to be thinner and skinnier because they know it shrinks your energetic field and then you won't be able to implement the other 5 tenets of baddie philosophy. I swear to God, I am the heaviest I have ever been in my life and I am the hottest I have ever been in my life. I'm so well nourished. I have an overflow of vitamins and minerals in my system. I have an overflow of energy where I can now come out here and speak on camera and be seen in the world and attract everything I motherfucking want. And so the nourishment is key. Your food is your energy. Once you're well nourished, then you need to work on your nervous system. And this is paramount because a bad bitch is unbothered. So if you're all fucking stressed out and strung out, again, you're not going to be able to implement the other 5 tenets of baddie philosophy. You need to have intentional relaxation daily. And you can do this through practicing yoga, through engaging in meditation, by doing somatic exercises. These are all things that we do in Bad Bitch boot camp. You need to make sure that you are out of fight or flight and in the rest and digest portion of your nervous system. Because from there, that is when your body is able to heal and find balance. And that is when your bad bitch energy truly starts to grow and radiate. The nervous system piece is also intertwined with emotional regulation. This is so fucking important. You need to be feeling your feelings in the moment. You can't be trying to bottle things in and expect yourself to be a bad bitch in the streets, because if you don't let your emotions flow, where the hell do they go? They stay trapped in your body. And if you want to be fucking snatched and hot, it means you have to cry. It means you have to feel your anger. It means you have to feel joy and excitement to its fullest every single day. And this can be really fucking challenging, especially if nobody taught you. And so a bad bitch really hones in on her food, on her energy in her nervous system, and on her emotions on a regular basis to level out her energy so she can radiate big pussy energy in these streets. At Bad Bitch Embodiment, we value nervous system regulation above all, because a bad bitch is calm, cool, collected, and unbothered. And energy is one of the most valuable resources that a bad bitch possesses. And so she makes sure it is on point at all times. Now, I told y'all at the beginning of this episode that this shit is not easy, okay? After going through the 6 tenets of baddie philosophy, you have learned a lot. You have a lot of tools in your toolkit now to go from heartbroken and toe up to having a baddie glow up post breakup. You literally have every single thing you motherfucking need. Trust me, babe, because I've done it. Look at me. I have achieved baddie status, but guess what? It was not fucking easy. So now you know you need to hone in on your beauty and become your own muse. You need to be audacious and bold in your new identity. You're going to lean into desire and daily pleasure while practicing direct communication and honoring your intuition. And then finally, you're going to make sure your energy is on motherfucking point with food, with nervous system regulation, and with emotional processing. Now, that is a lot, okay? That is a lot. And the reason I came up with this framework is because I have lived it. I have gone through the trenches of breakup hell to come out hotter and healthier on the other side. And I don't want anyone to go through this shit alone, because it was hard. And I'm going to be introducing my new program, Bad Bitch Boot Camp, which is a 12-week intensive group program for women who are ready to step into their baddie energy by following my signature framework and doing every motherfucking thing we talked about in this podcast episode today. Because let's be real about it. It's hard to be a bad bitch in these streets, and we need support. We need community. And that's the whole point of Bad Bitch Boot Camp. I take you through everything you need to do to have the hottest, sexiest glow up of your fucking life, so you can start to call in the things that you desire and manifest the relationship of your motherfucking dreams, because this takes time. It's not an overnight process, especially when we're talking about nervous system regulation and daily pleasure practices. These have to be done for extended periods of time. And I get it. Sometimes life happens. And so if you feel like it's challenging to make a change on your own, having this support and accountability is life-changing because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be your bitchy drill sergeant in Bad Bitch Boot Camp who is going to help you get your fucking shit together and get hotter and get healthier and get happier with the empowerment and support that you receive in Bad Bitch Boot Camp. So if you are curious about applying, because not everybody gets in, let's be fucking real about it. Most people will not do this. And this is going to be a big undertaking for you to really commit to yourself. And so I have to interview you. I have to vet you and make sure that you're even fit for the program because let's face it, most people aren't. But I'm not here for most people. I'm here for the bad bitches. I'm here for the ones who are ready to grab life by the horns and say, you know what? I fucking can have everything I want. And I'm doing what I want. I'm not being the good girl who gets walked all over anymore. I'm actually going to take my fucking power back and I'm going to stand in my truth as a bad bitch in the street who's hot as fuck and gets what the fuck she wants. And so if that's you, then I encourage you to apply. The application is in the show notes below, and Bad Bitch Bootcamp starts on July 21st. So again, the clock is ticking. If you are ready to go from toe up to glow up post breakup, then Bad Bitch Bootcamp is the program for you. All right, baddie. Make sure to check the show notes for the signature framework and the application. And I cannot wait to connect with you soon. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Bad Bitch Embodiment Podcast. If you enjoyed our conversation, please share with members of your community and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep having these amazing conversations every week. I will see you next Thursday. And until then, you are a bad bitch. Don't you ever forget it.